Women's Health Wednesday now. November is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and epilepsy affects 3.4 million people in this country. There are different types of seizures, and there are some things to know if you're in the presence of someone having a seizure. Plus, women with epilepsy have some unique health challenges. Dr. Jan Lansing, a neurologist at Albany Medical Center, joins us now with some important insight. Doctor, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So we know there are different types of seizures, but first define for us what a seizure really is and some of the reasons people develop them.
So a seizure in itself is an electrical abnormality in the brain that causes your body to experience something. It could be a sensation you have, or it could be physical movements. Sometimes you can be aware of it, and sometimes you are not, and others can see it.
And so you touched on a little bit here that there are different types of seizures. So two main types, right?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
There's two main types. There's generalized seizures and there are focal seizures. Generalized seizures, typically people might have episodes where they stare. They may just not respond. They could also have generalized shaking of their entire body. They might be seen to drool more frequently or have foaming at the mouth. Sometimes it could even have a red blood tinge to it because they bite their tongue. Meanwhile, focal seizures are typically due to one part of the brain seizing, and whatever that part of the brain is in charge of is what allows for the seizure to have its symptoms. So it could be a sensation on one side of the body, it could be shaking on one side of the body, it could be a strange feeling, something like deja vu, or a strange smell, taste, or something they see.
And I think most people, you know, if you don't know anyone or never experienced anyone having a seizure, I think a lot of people relate more to the generalized seizures, right? That, you know, that's grand mal, also called something else, right? Where the foaming or that shaking like that. But yeah, sometimes you're aware, sometimes you are not aware.
Correct.
Let's talk about women here, because there are unique challenges for women who have epilepsy. What can you share on that?
Absolutely. There are definite specific concerns for women with epilepsy. Some women with epilepsy specifically have seizures around their menstrual cycle. It could be at the beginning, the middle, or the end. We call these catamenial seizures. They're thought to be hormonal in nature, and sometimes that can allow us to modify their treatment plan. It could be something that we talk with their primary care about or their OBGYN. In addition, a lot of women with epilepsy are on some form of birth control or hormonal therapy. The birth control itself might also have interactions with their seizure medications, and unfortunately the seizure medications might actually cause the birth control to fail, resulting in unplanned pregnancies. Seizure medications inherently create a slight risk of birth defects as well. It's very slight. I do reassure my patients that while it is a slight risk, the risk of birth defect from a medication is far less than a risk if they were to have a seizure while pregnant. So they have to stay on the medication. Absolutely. What
an important note. All right, so for treatments, medicine can, in many cases, prevent the seizure from happening, and then there are other medicines if you're having a seizure, depending upon the type you have. Fair to say?
Absolutely, yeah. So people with epilepsy need to stay on their seizure medications to prevent further seizures from happening. That works in about 2/3 of individuals.
Okay.
The seizure itself, if it is going on and it's lasting longer than 5 minutes, or they have 2 seizures back to back without a return to baseline, they may require a special medication that can be given. A lot of them are available via intranasal or up the nose, but sometimes it might also be things that can dissolve.
Yeah, but so 2/3 can really be helped by medicine and hopefully stave off the seizures from happening.
Absolutely.
Okay, real quick, what can you do if you ever find yourself in that situation where someone is having a seizure, you think they're having a seizure in front of you?
It's scary. It's very traumatizing for everyone involved. The first thing to do is to stay calm, to make sure to get them out of any situation where they can harm themselves or others. So if he sees in the middle of the street, get them out of the street. But then when the seizure is actually happening, you just want to make sure they're on their side, make sure there's nothing in their mouth or near their mouth. You don't want to put your fingers in their mouth or put any objects into their mouth. Really, it's just sitting back and trying to time it and make sure that they have those available medications if necessary. And really, if the seizure lasts for a prolonged period of time, you might have to call 911. And there's always resources and education available from local support groups, things like the Epilepsy Foundation, Northeast New York, and other groups.
Great resource, okay, and people can just, we'll try to get that information on our website with this story so we can connect people to those resources. Thanks for coming in and talking about this. Really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and for more resources and to find all of our Women's Health Wednesday segments online, go to news10.com. Look for Women's Health under the community tab. We'll be right back.